everyone, it's Amy, and I'm just here to do Mixed Media Morsels number 12, which is a book cover. So I am going to glue on my jelly strips, like I did on my strips page, and I'm going to use Liquitex Gloss Gel medium to glue them down. And I actually just grabbed the same pages since I still had parts of them left. So I'm just going to rip some strips off of here. And I forget who it was that had explained about when you rip paper, it has a grain. So being able to rip long strips this way, well, now that one went off the edge, but it goes with the grain of the paper. It will rip fairly straight. And then if you rip it this way, well, that's such a short amount, but it won't rip straight, so you'll know which way your grain goes. And I think that it was either Cat Hand or Sharon Green that actually showed that. I'm not sure who it was, but yeah. So that's just what I'm doing. I had tested these papers the other day, so I knew which way the grain went. With these, it's the long way. So I'm just going to get a bunch of these and then start gluing them on my book. I already cut my box, and I am using a Mike and Ike. Ooh, if you haven't tried these, Mike and Ike root beer float. I remember my kids used to like Mike and Ike's, and I don't remember what they were. It seems like it was fruit flavor or something. I never liked them. But these root beer float ones are really good. So if you have a sweet tooth, you might want to try those. I got them at the Dollar Tree because I always loved root beer floats, and so I thought I'd like to try them. And even my husband liked them. This one is way too wide, so I'm going to rip it down a little bit. Okay, so I have my box. My box was 3.5 inches wide, and so I cut it 4.5 inches the long way. And that was probably totally out of shot. And I'm just going to use a palette knife to put the gloss medium on here. And I need to move my cutting mat before I get gloss medium on it. That would not be good. And I better move my coffee because that would not be good if I spilled that. Okay, there we go. I don't need that much to start with. I'm just going to use the gloss medium to glue these down. Try and find an order that I like. Just put them on there. I am going to hang them over both ends a little bit because when Cat Hands did hers, she did folded them over a little bit so that they were on the inside a bit. And then she put like a cover sheet in there, but that covered up the ends of the box nicely. I want that one because it matches. I am doing this like I did my Mixed Media Morsel Strips page with the white edge coming over top of the piece before it. I probably need to make sure I don't overlap these too much because I've not put any gel medium on the top. Let's see, I want a color that I haven't used yet. Need a little more gel medium. Yeah. Well, so now I've gone quiet. What do I have to talk about? Oh, Papa and I got a nice package, and a lot of you ladies have been commenting on how nice it is to hear Papa. And I just want you to know that he really enjoys hearing that. so he'll come in after we've done a video together like that and say, oh, well, have we got any messages on our video? And I tell him what you all said, and he really enjoys that. He is a Leo. He loves the attention. I've got this out. I might as well just put it over here. So I just wanted to thank all of you that have been like saying hi and sending hugs to him, because he really enjoys that. And even on the videos, you know, where he is not on the video, but you say hi to Papa, I always tell him. And that always makes him feel good. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. He doesn't get out much, so actually you guys are kind of like his little connection to the world in a certain way. You know, my brothers and sisters come up and visit, but other than that, he doesn't get visits that often, because his friends are either gone or as old as he is, and so it's hard for them to get around too. So it makes it nice when he feels like somebody's thinking of him. Okay, I just have one more here to put on the edge, and let's end with what we started with. I like this one better though. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do really quickly, because I can't upload videos longer than 15 minutes at a time, but I have figured out how to put them together, so that works good. So what I'm going to do is turn the camera off right here, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to dry this, and then I'll come back and we'll flip it over and figure out what we're going to put on the inside. Yeah, so, whoops, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've got it all dried, and I should have left a larger edge on this side because I'm not going to be able to fold that over very well. But for the tops and the bottoms, I'm going to trim them like, you know, this is about 3/4 of an inch, just so I have something to easily fold over. And then, yeah, I'll just fold those down. Alright, now what I want to do at the ends. I could fold that one over. Well, I guess I can fold that one over and just bring my paper as close to the edge, my lining paper, real close to that. So if you do this, make sure that you leave your edge over unless you want to cut it off, but I really kind of didn't want to cut it off. So let's grab some more medium. And I guess we'll start with the two ends and then fold the sides in. So I hope that you're all having a lovely day on whatever day you're watching this. It was really sunny earlier here. It was a nice day. Now it's all overcast. And I just brought in the newspaper, and we lost our snow, oh, I don't know, probably a couple weeks ago. And in the newspaper today it said that we are supposed to be getting a winter storm Wednesday afternoon and into Thursday, and we are supposed to get 8 inches of snow. So that's really going to be a shocker for us, because it's been in the 50s. I think we even had a couple of days of 60s. And now we're going to get 8 inches of snow. So that's going to be interesting. So I have to go do my Easter shopping and my banking and everything, which I usually do on Thursdays, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because I don't want to be driving in 8 inches of snow. I don't want to be driving in a storm, and I don't want to be driving when people aren't thinking about the fact that the weather is bad, because it's always like first thing when we get the first snow in the fall, there's always a lot of accidents because people forget that you have to stop a little bit sooner. So I'm just kind of like, I don't think I want to deal with those people that have forgotten how to drive in the bad weather. It even said in the paper that because of how much they say we're supposed to get, I mean, even the county is saying, be careful, we might lose power, and that they're not sure exactly how well they're going to be able to keep up with keeping the roads clean, so, you know, you got to watch your driving. So I think I'm going to get all prepared and be inside when it hits. Okay. Oops. This one I had folded in, but it didn't stay there. Just need to pull that in so that it doesn't stick out over the edge. There we go. That's going to work. Okay. Well, that one didn't want to stay in, and I'm just going to put that just like that. Okay, so I think I've got those all done well, and now I grabbed a piece of paper that I was spraying a stencil with. I think those are Delusions, and then I soaked up with this paper. I just soaked up what was extra, and I thought that I might like this on the inside. I think I like these colors with the colors of my book. I don't think these others really, they don't quite go, but this one actually looks pretty good. So that's going to be the one I'm going to use for my book. And I have my measure back here, but I can move you back a little bit. Okay, so I want to make this, we're at about 7 1/4, so I want to make it 7 by, about 7 by 4 1/2. So, that's not a pencil. This is the end that I want. And I'm going to mark it at 7 and at 0. And at 0. Oops. I need to mark the other side at 0. Well, and I know I'm off screen, but okay, so there we go. We have it marked. And my ruler. Got it all sticky here. That's why I don't want to stick the paper right down there. Let's see here. There's my 4 1/2 mark. And I didn't mark both sides of this, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. If it's not perfectly straight, it's just the inside lining. I'm okay with that. There. I'll just cut this out and throw it on the inside. we go. Alright. I'm going to put just a little bit more gel medium down here because this has dried a little bit. And make sure you have it everywhere. Especially you want to make sure you have it good by the spine because you're going to fold it there and you don't want your paper puckering right there. So let's see what we've got here. Okay. Oh, got in there a little crooked. Tuck that one in. Okay. I didn't make it as small as I thought I did. But that's okay, it worked. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this out nice and flat and put some gloss medium on this side and dry it. And then I will be right back because my phone is now telling me that it wants to die, so I'm at a stopping point anyways. So I'll put some gloss medium on this and then I'll come back and finish it up. Thank you very much for watching and I'll be back in just a second. Bye-bye. Okay, so I've got it all dried and it turned out good. The only thing is, probably those of you that use the gel medium all the time probably thought to yourself when I said I was going to put gel medium on that dilution spray, you probably thought, no, don't do it. It's going to smear. But I didn't know that because I just got the dilution sprays and I don't use the gel medium very often. So when I put the gel medium on, it did smear it. And so we've got a little pink going on in the white there and, oh, a touch of mud over here. But this is going to be the back of the book anyways because the book's going to go this way. So, but it still worked out really well. And that gel medium is, it's kind of like rubbery or something. I expected the pages to get harder, more like when I used the glue. So I don't know how well I like that. But anyways, all I have left to do now is just doodle. And I don't know what the book's going to be for. So it just got a big wrinkle in it that wasn't there before. Huh. So I think I'll just doodle the whole cover, and then if I decide I'm going to name it, I can always add that as on a different piece of paper. So I think I'm just going to go through here where I've got the little white part that was on the ripped side of the paper. I'm just going to doodle down through those. And the dogs are going to sing for you. That's the big boxer playing with the baby boxer. He's teaching him how to be a boxer. They're so funny. Our old boxer doesn't play much anymore at all. He's feeling his age. So I hate to make him stop when he's feeling good enough to... Ooh! The puppy did something he didn't like. Okay, you guys go lay down. Zeke, go lay down. And they were... the boxers were playing with the toy. And the puppy dropped it. And Dad's little tiny dog came over and stole it and took off with it. But really, she's the little tiny dog in the house, but she's the boss. Now, I think I'll just continue with this even though I don't have any white there because it doesn't look good halfway. But yeah, so this is Mixed Media Morsels number 10. No, number 12. I'm actually even kind of on time because Kat just put this up a couple of days ago. I'm usually running behind. And if you haven't seen Kat's videos, you should go have a check. If you put mixed media morsels into the search bar, Kat has all of them on her channel, and there are a whole bunch of people that have done them. So you could go check those out and see if you might be interested, because it's really a blast to do them. But just adding a little gold here. I've really had fun. I think it's nice to have something in your arsenal for those days where you just feel a little stuck. Something just to go look at and think, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do today. So I have no idea what I'm doing here. I used to love to doodle. When I worked, I doodled all the time when I was on the phone. And I haven't doodled in such a long time that I kind of like, I get stuck even thinking of what I should do next. Let's see, I think I'm just going to follow this one with a solid line. And I have to hurry with this video because it's almost time to make dinner for Papa. And you don't want to be late. He has his schedule, and you don't break that schedule or you don't hear the end of it. But, oh, and there's a cool thing that I'm going to get for Papa. If any of you have elderly relatives that you may look after, I was actually at my doctor's the other day, and he told me about this. So what it is, it's with Verizon, and other companies might have it too, but it's a watch that they make for kids that you can put on their wrist, and they can call you, and you can call them. And the doctor was telling me that they had got that for his dad, and yeah, I think that is just like such a great idea. And so I called and talked to Verizon today, and the doctor told me that it was $10 a month, but when I called Verizon today, the guy said it was $5. So it's either $5 or $10 a month. You have to buy the watch, which is $80, and then it's only $5 or $10 a month. And they can always get a hold of you, and you can always get a hold of them. And it also has like a GPS, which for Papa wouldn't make much difference because he wouldn't get very far without us knowing about it. But yeah, so if any of you have, like, the doctor's dad does not live with them because he doesn't want to move in with them. You know, sometimes that's really hard with your parents to get them to do that. And, but he said that his dad, like, sometimes wouldn't answer the phone because his wife would call over there to check on his dad, and his dad wouldn't answer the phone, so she'd run over there to see if he was okay, and he'd be in his chair, and he'd be fine, and she would say, well, why didn't you answer the phone? And he would say, oh, I figured it was a telemarketer, so I just didn't bother getting up. So that's when they were talking to Verizon, trying to figure out, like, you know, was there something that they could do for their dad? And the guy told him about this watch and said, well, you know, they make them for kids, but, you know, I don't know why you couldn't use it for your father. And then you can call him anytime, and he can call you anytime. So he said they did that, and it works really well. So I'm going to, when I go to town tomorrow, I'm going to pick one of those up for Papa. So then when I do have to, because really the only time I ever leave is if I have a doctor's appointment, or once a week I do have to go get the groceries and do the banking. And it always kind of worries me because he doesn't answer the phone either. Same excuse. Oh, I figured it was a telemarketer and I didn't want to get up. Even with the phone next to his chair, it was like, oh, I didn't want to bother answering it. So, you know, this way I know if something happens to him, and the watch will stay on him wherever he is in his house, or his part of our house. And so if something were to happen, he'd have it and he could call me. So if there's any of you out there that are taking care of elderly parents, you might want to check into that. And I'm going to guess if Verizon has it, probably, you know, everybody else has them too. So, because that's really a cool technology, for people with kids, or even those of you out there that have kids that might want to, make sure that your kids can get a hold of you. I'd never heard of this before. So it really, I was really like surprised, and I was really pretty happy when I heard about it. So just thought I'd tell you all about that, because I actually told Dad about it, I guess it was a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last week. And I told him about it when I got home from the doctor's office, that my doctor had told me about it. And he, like, ho-hummed and I said, well, I think it would be good. And he says, well, what if I just don't wear it? So I told him, I said, well, whether you want to wear it or not, I'll just put it on your wrist before I leave. But you have to let him, like, wrap his brain around it and decide that that's what he wants to do. And if you do that, then everything works out really nice, and he will use it. If you try and force it on him, then, he doesn't want to use it. So anyways, that's going to just make me so much more comfortable when I have to go to town. I don't go for very long, and I just go between his schedule so that I'm not gone when anything is due. But, yeah, even if, like, especially if you have, like, an elderly parent that doesn't live with you, it might be nice to know that they can get a hold of you. The problem is Papa can't dial the phone fast enough, because he can't see the letters that well, even though he's got the numbers, even though he's got big numbers on his phone. He can't see the numbers that well. And so by the time that he gets it punched out, the phone has, basically told him, please hang up and try again. So that's the really nice thing about it, is that he just has to push a button and it will call me. He doesn't have to try and dial any number, and it's right there. So, and he doesn't want one of those, the little tags that they can wear around their neck. And because I'm really here all the time, he doesn't necessarily need it, except for that couple hours a week when I have to run to town. So this is going to make me feel better too, so that I don't have to worry about him while I'm gone. At least not as much. And I'll know that if he needs me, he can call me. Or if I want to call and just check on him, or call and see if he wants something, I can do that. And he'll be able to hear me. So, okay, well, I think that I'm just going to decorate the front of the book here. I think I'm going to leave the back blank, or maybe do it later, because I do have to go make dinner. But there's my book for Mixed Media Morsels 12, or my book cover. And then you just use elastic rubber bands, the hair ties here, and put signatures inside that the hair ties hold in, and you have yourself a little Mixed Morsels book. So, thank you all for watching and listen to me blubber on. I hope you like it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Thank you. Bye-bye.